Hello, today is May 23rd, 2021, and it has been over 400 days since March 2020 when the whole world got shut down due to a pandemic. And while things are looking up, and it seems like things are going to reopen and we're going to go back to normal life really soon, I thought it would be really fun if I kind of just went back and reflected on how I spent the past year of my life. Because after all, I did have a lot of fun just sitting in my own home for a whole year. Oh boy. Let's go back to early pandemic. I'm talking like April, May of 2020. Everyone still thought this thing would pass by summer, and we're all bored out of our minds. So other than typical pandemic activities like hoarding toilet paper and not wearing our masks correctly, people started picking up new hobbies, like baking bread was a big one. Knitting, I know, was also pretty popular. Other general productive hobbies went around. I, on the other hand, spent all my free time watching TV shows, and in the process ended up becoming emotionally dependent on animated TV shows. But it's okay. I did some other things too. I got a job. That's a big one. It's my first job. I started in July and I still work there. I've been having a lot of fun, and the best part of it is that I've been making my own money for the first time, and it's been, again, really awesome because I get to buy myself food whenever I'm hungry. I get to buy myself new clothes. I also can spend all my money on obscenely large stuffed animals to bring me joy in the middle of a pandemic. Guys, I swear this past year has not been that awful, okay? Like, sure, I lost most of my senior year, which is arguably supposed to be one of the most memorable years of you being a teenager, to a pandemic, and instead I sat in my room and rotted away for a whole year while I watched my grades slip. Like, yes, maybe that did happen, okay? But that does not mean that this year sucked. Like, for example, my family's home all the time, and it's great because I get to talk to them and hang out with them until we get sick of being in each other's faces too long. Or, it's fine that I made new friends. We call and play games way late into the night all the time, which probably contributes to my horrible sleep schedule that I can't fix. And, you know what? Now that I'm laying this all out, reflecting on the pandemic is not as fun as it sounds. This really sucks. God, I hope my future roommate doesn't see this. My first influence for this project was the show The Legend of Korra, which isn't specifically a show known for its comedy, but there's a scene in the second season that I modeled my entire project after, because in this scene, one of the characters is recalling events that happened to him from earlier in the season, but he does it in a way that includes some pretty painful unspoken truths, so he quickly changes the subject and his tone to lighten the mood as an attempt of diffusing anxiety, but he kind of repeats that cycle, and that's exactly what I did in my project. And then my other influence for this project was Trey Kennedy, who's a comedian and posts a lot on YouTube. He uses satire, caricatures, and exaggerations in his skits, and many of them have been about the pandemic and how people have reacted over the past year. And his comedy created a lot of situational humor that I could draw inspiration from for this project.